to reach the 320 million turnover for the year. So you'll see June, July and August, we made it in June and July. August we also actually made it because our GP is very high for August, I think in the 30s. The highest it's been in a long time. Compared to previous years, this has also been our record sales for a quarter, ending up on almost 90 million for the quarter. You can see compared to the other years, we are flying. The backorder comparison, we invoiced a lot of our projects in quarter two. Backorders went down from 72 million to 60 million.
We're not there. Yeah, thanks.
From 72 million down to 60 million. The majority or a lot of this is still balance sale, and then obviously some big projects and the back orders for Freedom One. And then the stock evaluation, we were on 53 million at the beginning of the quarter. We dropped down to 50 million, but I received some balance sale stock this month, 2.5 million, so it went up to 52 million again. Turnover, were you on the turnover and GP?
Yes.
Okay, so as you can see for June, July and August, it's basically record months for us. 38 million in June, 27 million in
Rainer,
July.
sorry, our slide hasn't come up yet.
I think we have a delay on our side.
Yeah, the IT problem.
We have a daily IT problem.
Just say yay when you see green and peach and gold.
Hoeveel brain?
Is yours showing it, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Look. Where's Anthony? We've got an ID 10 T problem here.
Where is Anthony's off today?
Anthony went to the hospital with his wife for his mother-in-law. She's quite sick with her kidneys. And they want to find out from the doctor exactly what's happening. So they're hoping to see the doctor.
Raina, we might listen. There we go.
There we go.
Oh. Okay, let's find that again. Okay, so you can see for July we invoiced 38 million at 19%, GP 27 million at 18%, but a lot of the final values for those invoices wasn't processed, and they only processed it in August, and that's why you'll see in August we did 24 million, but with a much higher GP, almost double. And that's why Jenny asked yesterday if there's something wrong with the figures, and it was because of 4 invoices that was invoiced between 50% GP and 70% GP.
Because the expenses were put in July.
Yes, so the items was invoiced in a previous month, and then it was all cost of good, like general cost invoices that was processed with limited linked purchase orders. Yeah, so far for the year, we are on 135 million at a 22% GDP. The average sales of 32 million, and it's quite high if you compare it to last year where we only averaged 19 million, so it's almost 60% growth. Do you see the next slide?
Yes.
Okay. So quarter two, our best quarter by far, ended on 89 million. If we take Etienne's 1% commission out, we actually made target, so that's why it's so high. and we are awesome. So yes, Q2. I see last year we actually had a better Q2. I didn't know that. No, sorry, it's this one. Sorry, 90 million. Last year we did 53 million. So it is almost 80%, more than 80% growth from last year to this year. Turnover projects versus normal. You can see the most we've ever had was 25% projects. This year it's increasing to 27%, and I think it should increase up to 30% before the end of this year. Our total sales for the year, 160 million, of which normal sales is 110 million, and project sales has already surpassed last year's sales of 47 million and currently sitting on 49 million. So we should end projects on about 100 million by the end of the year, and power supplies on 220, which will mean we should make our target of 320 million for the year. Cape Town sales for 2024. I'm going to not do it here. I'm going to do it on the next slide. Okay. So this is year to date. That stays the same because it's 24%. Last year at the same stage, we were sitting on 100 million. We're currently on 159 million, the 60% growth. Normal sales, we were on 79 million at the same stage last year. We're currently on 110 million. It is a minus 41% growth. And yeah, projects last year compared to this year, we won 21 million, so over 100% growth for projects year to date. Cape Town is sitting, if we look at Cape Town here at the bottom, sitting on 44 million compared to last year's 25 million. It's a 70% growth for normal sales. Projects have already surpassed it, and last year's sales are also 80% growth. Durban, they were on 8.5 million, currently on 10.5, so 20% growth for Durban. Projects is a bit behind. Year to date, they were already on 1.2 million last year, currently only on 900,000. Joburg, normal sales, 45 million at the same stage last year, currently on 55, so it's 20% growth. Projects only did 8.6 million in the first 6 months of last year, currently standing on 30 million. It's almost 350% growth, and total growth for the company is 60%. Same data, just in a different graph. You can see where we were last year, 100 million, 160 million. Joburg total turnover from 54 to 85. It's a 50%, 60% growth. Cape Town from 36 million to 63 million is a 70% growth. And Durban, last year they were sitting on 9.7, currently on 11, so it's about 18% growth for Durban. Year to date turnover contributions. Joburg sitting at 53% of the turnover, Cape Town 40%, and Durban 7%. If you look at the profit, obviously Cape Town's GP.
We're not there.
Oh,
Still on turnover.
Ek het genoteer net toe jy jou
Actually, next year was like-
enable it to reactivate it on hulle kant. Is it up yet or not? So minimize your image and
There we go.
okay.
There.
okay, so turnover, Cape Town 40%, Joburg 53%, and Durban 7%. If you look at it profit-wise, Cape Town has a worse GP. So Durban's sitting on 8%, Cape Town goes down to 34%, and Joburg is sitting at 58%. There goes my dreams of passing Joburg. I'll take a bietjie. Yeah, so yeah, basically everything is covered in that graph. Actual growth in the graph for the company. You can see the company growth sitting at 58%, profit growth is at 50, just below 50%. Yes. Jy het gesê ek moet gou maak. Nou breek jy my heeltyd.
We're finishing up targets, people. Let's get them out there.
Wie prikkel?
Me, because
Ek gaan net
slide
gou
is-
ophou share en weer share, want fuck hierdie werk met my gat.
No, why you were shouting at me yesterday? Is it ook so vasgehou?
Yeah,
Can you now see?
it's good. You were big.
I can see it.
You were in the background, but at the front. It's not showing, it's a black screen. Fuck all. We should give it a second.
Net gebounce.
And you're bouncing, but you're over our whole screen.
So, I do apologize.
Okay, there it is.
Okay. So company growth is sitting at 58.8%, profit growth at 50% year to date. Joburg 58% and their profit growth is 50%. Cape Town sales growth
51.
Cape Town sales growth 70.8% and profit growth 58.3%. Durban 17% and their profit growth is in line. So their GPs, they're actually maintaining their GP. But I think it's because they're not doing as many projects as the rest of the branches. Okay, meanwhile sales. Is it updated?
No.
Yes.
The Canadian high speed.
Yeah. I'm not sure which internet we're there, but most probably on the slow speed. They like to put us on the Seacom slow speed.
Let me just do a speed test. Will it help if I do a speed test from my phone?
No, because you're going to work through an AP access point, and it's not a Ethernet communication point.
Oh, I'm going to do a speed test from the actual PC.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Skree maar net daar so op is.
Etienne, when we're done here, just hang on so I can do a speed test to see what's happening.
Okay. We are most probably not on the Newtel line, we're on the Seacom line. The Seacom line is that 200 meg line, and the Newtel is 1 gig line. But
Let me ask football while we're here. I'm going to ask the BJ. I'm going to ask the Lord.
I'll let Anli ask, he'll respond quickly.
I can do it. Yeah. I'm back.
Hey, sweetie.
Nee, die sterstraal.
Is die ding nog steeds hier op hier?
Nee, die vreemdmas.
Sterstraal. Is jy ster?
Ek is 'n sterstraal.
Prachtig, man.
Sonia, fuck slow and Annalie's getting impatient. Maybe I do that, yeah.
Anlie, wat se persoonlikheid vir jou vandag?
Lente met
Happy birthday.
I wish good.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yes, she's been in the throat. Fucking doing price. Lekker, hè?
Is meanwhile nog steeds hier op hier?
Ja.
Okay, ek gaan maar net aangaan. Julle moet maar luister.
We're listening.
Okay, so yeah, the meanwhile's picking up again. I'm going to start with GRV. So last year, our average GRV was 2.8 million. This year, it's 4.2 million.
There it is.
Just need to start talking.
Our sales average was 5.3. This year, we're sitting at 6.5. It can be better because Joburg went through a dip there March to May, and Cape Town and Durban have their dip here in June to August. but that is still in line with the 20% growth, so I'll take it. Our target is, as I said, it's in line 6.4 million. Something that I did look at earlier is if you're looking at that GRV, average GRV amount and the average sales amount, I know the stock is increasing, but there's a 30% difference between that GRV amount and the invoicing amount. So although the stock levels is quite high, I'm still happy that the sales is 30% higher than that GRV value. Just something I was looking at. Very stress, Eddies. Just Jenny.
Waar staan die GRV nou weer?
It's received.
Shipments that came in.
Yes. Cost of goods. We're still having the odd month where we're getting in big orders, but that is basically when balance sale comes in, where that cost of good value is far above where the GRV value is far above the cost of goods value. So we actually want to have that in line, or the GRV is smaller than that cost of goods, until we can decrease our stock levels to a decent value. Our back orders for last year, the average back orders was 18 million. This year we're sitting on 25 million. And yeah, the stock evaluation, we went up from 18 million to 25.7 million. Of that, balance sale stock is about 3 million, so 22 million. So our stock increased by about 5 million, the average stock. This is the same graph as the previous one, just without Meanwell.
Meanwell, no balance sale.
Yes,
Yeah.
Just without balance sale. Yeah, you can see basically the influence that the dip in the Joburg sales had from March to May, where we didn't reach our desired target. And the moment Joburg got out of their little hole, it started increasing and we're hitting our targets again. We are still about 8% behind. Our target, average monthly target to invoice is 5 million. We're currently only invoicing 4.7 million. But if you look at the average GRV, if we remove balance sale, you're sitting at 2.9 million compared to the sales of 4.7 million. So there is a 39% difference between sales and goods received, which is still, for me, it's in line our current ordering. Sorry, it's just average. Okay. Delta UPSs. Last year we averaged on sales 95 million. This year we're on 153 million. But the stock levels, average stock has increased a lot, where our average GRVs was 80,000 a month last year, and it's currently 188,000 a month. Our target is 158, so we're in line with our sales target compared to last year, but it's still not, the sales is still not great. Our average back orders last year was 50 million, it's currently 55 million, so there is a 10% growth. Average evaluation last year.
I know. Is it 55 million or 55,000? Sorry, I'm seeing
55,000, sorry. 55,000, sorry. Stock evaluation last year, average stock evaluation on the UPSs was 1.3 million, and we're still sitting around about on the same level on 1.28 million. So, but it is almost 10 months stock with our current sales. The Meanwell TPSs, average GRVs last year was about 200,000. This year it's double that, with sitting at 400,000. Our average sales last year was 300,000. Our sales is almost half this year. On average, it's sitting at 187,000. We do have a possible sale to sell all our 2900 modules to Bidvest facility management. So that will definitely help to lift our sales. That's about $1 million, just over $1.5 million
Oh, that's good.
in sales.
Nice.
Yeah, our current target is 424, so our sales is still way behind from where we should be. So we need some help from above. The cost of goods sold last year was 212 million, this year 116 million. Average back orders last year was 40 million. This year it's also sitting at 40 million, but it's because we always have stock, so we don't really have back orders. And last year's stock evaluation, average stock evaluation was 1.8 million. This year we're sitting on an average of 2 million. I'm going to skip Power Master. We're not doing it. The retard batteries, the sales have decreased a bit. You can see here, from March, we slowly but surely going down. In August, there was a little bit of a spike, but I think it's because people are realizing the failure rate on the retards and or on lead acid batteries and rather going with the lithium option. Average job.
There's also returning 34 of those retards. He's looking at, I think, Naradas. Doesn't want
Picture
to.
like Mike from Impeka.
He started storming the clouds.
It's in Pico.
You can
But he's
just-
not.
He's
in
not
the
getting
bag
it.
for the
That's
kids.
we sat with him in a meeting yesterday.
He's getting a 1 month credit.
Yeah, he's getting 13,000 Rand credit. He's getting a 1 month credit, and we're still busy with Sally with him. And we didn't quote him on Narada, we quoted him on
A Polarium.
Polarium because it's for a rigid
Maybe it's my time.
So
He's got 11 months out of these batteries.
Yeah, but he never
For
makes out of them.
Side that's off at 6 hours a time.
But it's because it's coupled on a rectifier, so that could also be why it lasted a bit longer.
it's proper charging, but those sites are usually in rural areas. So,
No, this is mid-rand.
well, okay.
Mm.
So again, in rural areas, they could have been cycled a bit more. So on the retard, the average GRV last year,
Is it Yanta?
Data International Trading.
Ek weet nie van hom.
Who's given him permission to bring the batteries back?
She just told me that they quoted the client, was sold to him on the last day of August, and he said we never said he wanted the retards.
Did he get them?
So I haven't got all the details from him yet.
Maybe he hasn't received them yet. So,
yes, so average GRV
Yeah,
last year.
Please clap Devan.
not just return batteries. Maybe he hasn't taken them, let's hope.
And also, if you do buy something, you got 7 days to return it. You don't use them for 6 months or whatever, and then return it.
This guy bought them on the last day of August.
Maar dat is 2 verschillende cliënten. Okay, so average GRV for this year is 808,000. We have a shitload of stock at the moment. Our average sales last year was 815. We've managed to do a 20% increase. And it's currently sitting on 984,000 a month. Our target is 1.2, so we are about 30% behind from where we want to be. 20%. Cost of goods sold last year compared to this year, 550,000 compared to 650,000. Average back orders last year was 151,000. This year it's 464,000. Like a bietjie hoog. Okay, valuation for last year was 1.4 million and it basically doubled to this year to 2.8 million.
Yes, the stock was not back or still so.
I must check why this average is so high.
Might be different models that they're looking for.
Well, there's not much on back order. We looked at it yesterday.
I think it's pulling the wrong thing through here. This doesn't look right. Idle, it's up and down because we're struggling to get stock. The lead times are very long. The stock we received last month, we ordered in February. That's how long it's taking. So it's an absolute nightmare. Average GRV last year was 90 million. It's currently sitting at 167 million. Our average sales last year was about 100,000. It's currently 196,000, so it's almost 100% growth. Our target, though, we're behind from where we want to be. We want to be invoicing 254 a month and only managing 200,000, so it's 25% short on invoicing there. Our back orders, average back orders last year was 292,000 and this year we're sitting at 309,000. Stock evaluation is 376 last year. This year we're sitting on 645. We do have a lot of 4810s that's not moving and 48.5s. But we're trying to win back that business from Fibertech. And we received the shipment last month. Since they changed the lead times in May to 30 days, the sales has been growing nicely. Our average GRVs for last year was 148,000. And this year it's more or less the same, 145,000. Our sales, average sales last year, 270,000. This year we're sitting on 353,000, so it's a 20% growth there. Our target's 338, so we are surpassing that as well. And you look at the average GRV and the sales that's increased, so we're definitely slowly but surely decreasing our stock on hand value. Our back orders, average back orders, 111,000 last year. This year it's about 176,000. But the stock's it comes quick. So if we order now, within 3 weeks we have it. Total evaluation last year was almost 1.1 million. This year it's sitting on an average of 1.9 million. Victron. Our sales is taking a similar trend as to the batteries. It's starting to decrease a bit. We had a nice project in June for Bushmaster. Now, when did we invoice? No, we only invoiced Bushmaster in August. Yeah, so if you take Bushmaster out in August, we actually had a terrible August for Victron. So there is definitely quite a big decrease.
Did you place that 20-piece order, Tina? I saw you were talking about it in the week stock.
I asked about it, if I can go ahead, and I haven't received an answer from anybody.
Are we waiting?
Ja, dit is op die nuwe dinge soos jy kan dit maar order. Dit is op die stocklist. Ja, ons het in elk geval die stokkie.
Is that the multipass for the 8,000?
Yes.
Vra jy oor die multiplus vir die 85,000 of vra jy oor die krant af die ek wil net weer 'n vraag asseblief.
Ja, dis die multi 25000s.
Yeah, we've got 3 in stock, so they're gone.
Ja.
They're sold. Awesome, because we didn't want to re-rate the new stock, so that's great.
Okay,
On the
let's move it.
Ons het nou niks nie, so dit kan ASAP gebeur. Ons het actually nou op back order. Yeah, so average GRV last year was 2.6 million. This year it's 4.6 million, so there's 2 million of Jenny's cash flow gone. But it is because our sales increased from an average of 3.2 million to 5.2 million, which is around about a 60 to 70% growth. Our target for this year with a 20% increase was 4.8 million, so we're still surpassing that as an average. Obviously, cost of goods sold will be more. Our average back orders last year was 2.2 million. This year we're sitting at an average of 3.2 million. This is mainly because of projects that's placed and it takes time to build the back place. That's why it's so high. Stock evaluation, we were on 1.2 million on average last year. And Jesus said, Jenny's 2 million weer. This year we're on 4 million. So we've basically doubled our stock holding, average stock holding on Witron, but you can see it did decrease quite a bit due to orders going out. So the valuation was sitting at 4.5 million in June, and we're now down all the way to 2.8 million at the end of August. It's because we invoiced all the projects and Bushmaster.
We set our special at price list 5. You don't think we should move it to price list 6 for the
No.
overstocked items?
I just don't want Gerrit to...
But I've already asked Gerrit permission.
No, and he said it's fine.
You didn't answer me, remember? Because
No.
Solar Base was selling under cost. So I said to him, I just want to notify him that we're also going to be selling stock at a sale due to Solar Base being able to, and he didn't respond.
I think leave it at price list 5, because if you get a distributor that inquires, you have something to give him a better price. My thought.
Yeah, we also don't want to kill the GP in the company.
Yes, yeah, and we need the money. Okay, CA sales versus target per financial year. Our target for the quarter was 165 million because we need to pay 1% commission to Etienne, and we only reached 159 million.
I'd love that. You must just ask me, when do I get that 1%? Because that doesn't happen. It's a figment of someone's imagination. Jenny? I don't hear any responses from you.
There is no payout on those commissions, eh?
That was fact to help us through all our expenditure.
To help the company, not to help Etienne.
And they just saved about 600,000 on commission as well, so it works. Okay. Yeah, so we almost, we made it, but the actual targets as we have it on paper, we just missed it. But yeah, we only 60 million behind from last year's turnover, which is basically 2 months turnover. And our GP, it's dropping a bit, but it's stable at the moment at 24%. I just don't think we can afford to have it go less than 24. It's actually 25, but yeah.
24.67.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joburg sales target. They actually made it. We deducted the 1%, Etienne's 1%. So their target was 88 million. They ended on 85 million and had a good GP of 26%. Cape Town also missed it. We had a target of 65 million. And we ended on 63 million. Also for Anthony. GP kon net so 'n bietjie hoër gewees het. But we're still in line to have very good growth compared to last year. Durban, for the financial year, they're supposed to be on 11,600,000 and they're on 11,400,000. So they've basically reaching their targets, although they are a bit understaffed. And they're maintaining a very healthy GP. Okay, so what I did is for the targets, this is how I usually do my sales reps figures. to see where they have achieved it and to go back, like we go back until January of the previous year, to see where they've reached their targets, where they've missed it. And doing this, I can also identify where weak periods are for certain reps. But yeah, so basically just did this to show you how often we actually reach our target based on our formula. So as a company, on our formula, we've actually only made it 4 times in the last 22 months. Sorry. And we're getting close, but yeah, and bad months usually around about April, May, June, Q1, you always are bad quarter. This year, it was actually a lot better, where we hit 86 to 90% of our target. This is our sales, our GP. Sales in blue, target in grey, orders month to date. So that's orders received in a month, in that specific month. And the top is our back orders. In Joburg, you can see here is where they had the dip March, April, and it's starting to pick up nicely again. August wasn't the greatest month, but it was still good GP. And you can see the back orders is also starting to tail down a bit. So hopefully from this month, we'll see it tail up again. Cape Town has made target 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in the last 20 months.
Yeah, so Joburg.
Joburg, sorry. Privacy company. Yes, Joburg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You can see how the targets have increased. 10 million used to be 128%. Now you do 26 million and it's 100%. So it's basically double.
Look at your GP.
Yeah.
10 million and your 26 million.
This is actually something I wanted to look at. Is the GP's company GP. So we ended on 25 for the quarter, and if you look at these, it is actually for the last 20 months in line with what we normally do. It's just this August where we had a crazy GP, and don't know, we only sold power supplies in December 2022. Joburg usually maintains a very good GP. The average used to be around about 27. For this quarter, it was also quite high, sitting at 30%. But yeah, you can see the turnovers from last year around about 7-9 million was okay. This year, from there, we're actually sitting at an average of around about 14 million, which is very good growth. Sales target. Yellow is orders month to date. So you can see this here again, the quiet period, and it's picking up now. August was just slow for new orders. So hopefully it doesn't influence our September sales. And our back orders is coming down drastically, which is a bit worrisome, but hopefully it will pick up now from September. The blue line is the back orders. So you can see Joburg did well, made it in June, made it in August, and almost made it in July. Cape Town has made a target 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. The GP is a lot lower in Cape Town. It used to be also around about 27, 29%. But due to all the projects, we're sitting around about 22% at the moment. Because there's a lot of projects that Anthony runs through Cape Town. Our back orders is still fairly high. We've got all Anthony systems, which is about 25 million, and 20 million for balance cell, and the rest is power supplies. Orders month to date. You can see when you had your bad period in March to May, it was actually going well still in Cape Town, and then came June, and it hits us 3 months later. Ons is mos fucking stadig hieronder. Looking at the targets, Cape Town almost made it in June, but the GP 20% doesn't help. July 19% GP doesn't help, didn't make target. It was actually a terrible month. And this excludes those panels of Anthony that we invoiced at cost. I removed them. So we actually invoiced 13 million for the month, but the GP then drops to 7%. And in August, Cape Town made it. Target was 5 million because we had a very high GP of 34%, and we ended up on 8 million. But yet again, worrisome dip on the orders month to date and on the back orders. Durban, they make target the most, not because it's so low. But they've made target 10 times over the last 20 months, so basically a 50% strike rate. We haven't increased their targets much. You can see at 90%, 1.1 million, and if I look here, it's 1.8. Okay, so it's gone up by about 70%. Same trend in Durban. Orders month to date, they actually also took a dip in March, April. Had a good May, had a good June, and from there it's tanking a bit over the last 2 months. You can also look at their back orders. It was quite nice and high at 2.3 million, and it's slowly but surely going down, currently only sitting at 158,000, which is almost nothing.
I think Durban, between our new targets for the quarter, Durban branch, the increase in the target from quarter 2 is percentage-wise. Yeah, it's the biggest increase that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are changing it up.
Yes.
Okay. In June, they actually made targets. July, they had a terrible month. They missed it by about 600,000. And in, they missed it by about 400,000. And in August, they missed it by 500,000. Yeah, a lot of the power supply clients are still overstocked from last year, so the orders are coming slow. Guys are basically just taking orders to reduce our stock a little bit. Jy wakker?
Ek is ook.
Oh, it's trying to make it lekker. Is it lekker?
Yes, how many times did all of us ask today, is the meeting still on?
Yeah.
Is the meeting still on?
Even I asked.
Everyone asked, is the meeting still on?
And that is it. I still have 18 minutes to spare.
Raina, that was lovely, thank you.
That was good.
Ek het self gesukkel om wakker te bly.